sisters of my heart. My name is Julio. I'm going to play and sing a couple of songs to help me, to help you, to help us to harmonize ourselves, to prepare for the Spiritism talk tonight. So the first song called Vibration, and goes like this. When life lends a hand, it's time to open up your heart. It's time to love one another. It's time to take part. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality, and we join Jesus for eternity. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality, and we join Jesus for eternity. Now, song to Mother Zephyrina. Source of love that radiates, warming up our cold nights, support and comfort, support and comfort, cascades from down the mountain, calling the children of earth with love in their hearts, with love in their hearts. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in hard work. The solution lies in hard work. Oh, my Mother Zephyrina, harvest of wonderful blessings, make your small son a good Christian, make your small son a good Christian. Source of love that radiates, warming up The solution lies in our Lord. Oh, my Mother Zephyrina, harvest of wonderful blessings, make your small son a good Christian, make your small son a good Christian. A world where we will be as free as any bird flying in the sky, where peace prevails. That's what I dream for you and me. Moved by the light of love, no longer dimmed by who we were. We'll rise into what we are meant to be, among flowers shining with the glow of supernovas. Tokens of that endless love God feels for us. That's what I dream. I dream a new day is going to dawn, the rising of a different world, where eyes who seek out chances to do good, a world of peace and brotherhood awaits the change that we can make. And changing our hearts is the first step we must take. A world where we will be as free as any bird flying in the sky, where peace prevails. That's what I dream for you and me. Moved by the light of love, no longer dimmed by who we were. We'll rise into what we are meant to be, among flowers shining with the glow of supernovas. Tokens of that endless love God feels for us. That's what I dream. I dream a new day is going to dawn, the rising of a different world, where eyes will seek out chances to do good, a world of peace and brotherhood awaits the change that we can make. And changing our hearts is the first step we must take. Now I'm gonna sing a song, Good Old Man. It's about our protector, our mentor, Dr. Bezerra de Menezes. Blue crystal eyes, color of the sky, brave bushy beard, Santa's look alike. Shine on your brothers on My name is Publio. I'm gonna sing a couple of songs to prepare our environment, to prepare our soul for the Spiritist talk tonight. So welcome to our meeting. First of all, I'm gonna sing a song called Vibrate. When life lends a hand, it's time to open up your heart. It is time to love one another. It's time to take part. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality, and we join Jesus for eternity. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality, and we join Jesus for eternity.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our public meeting, our Spirit Talk. We thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. And before we start, as usual, we would like to share a couple of announcements. We ask you to turn off your phone notifications and find a quiet place to stay during this time if possible. Our meeting will have a 30 minutes presentation followed by Q&A, and then after the presentation, we will have a spiritual care with passes and magnetized water. So we invite you to set aside a container with your water to be magnetized. Our meeting is retransmitted today by Continental Concafos Americas through their Facebook, and also every Saturday at 8 p.m. by Kardec Radio through their Facebook and YouTube. For those who want to learn more about Spiritism, Get to Know Spiritism is a free and online course that happens every Saturday at 5:15 p.m. Eastern Time. A new class started on February 7, but there is still time to join us, and everyone is welcome to come together with us to learn more about Spiritism. Find the registration link in our chat. And after this class, the next one will be start on the fall. Okay. So I'll just switch here. Okay. So we offer virtual live gospel at home. Did you know that? So the gospel at home is an effective support for you and your family's spiritual harmony. We will motivate and guide you in establishing and maintaining the good the home study meetings by post in the chat. You can request it. Please let us know. And you are welcome to include your or someone else's names on the list of positive vibrations for incarnate and discarnate. The person you indicate will be assisted by the good spirits to provide healing energy and strengthen goodwill. So please find the link in our chat. So the topic of today's meeting will be detachment from earthly possessions, items 11 to 15 from chapter 16. You cannot serve both God and mammon. Of the Gospel according to Spiritism, and will be facilitated by our sister Anna from Alabama. Everyone is welcome to write comments and questions in the chat, and they will be addressed at the end of the talk. Now, we would like to invite our tonight's speaker, who will also do our opening prayer. Welcome, my sister.
Hello, sister. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm great. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you here. Okay, I'll see you later.
Okay. All right.
Bye.
All right, everyone. Just like Marceli said, we're so happy you are here with us. And like always, we'll start with our opening prayer. So I invite all of you to close your eyes, to take a deep breath, to let go of all the worries of the day, to forget about the problems of our earthly existence, and try to bring to your mind the beautiful presence of Jesus, our Master. Asking Him to stay with us, to help us understand better His gospel. And as today we'll continue to talk about riches, asking Him to help us prioritize what is more important and helping us to be good steward of all the things, all the blessings that God gave us, material and otherwise. Master Jesus, stay with us, bless our families, and help us by extending our capacity to love and our intelligence so we can comprehend your gospel better. And may we even go a little bit further and be able to practice it in our daily lives. Stay with us today and always, and so be it. All right, so like Marceli said, today we're going to actually finish the chapter 16th, and we are at that section of the chapter where we have the Spiritist teachings, right? So we have multiple messages from different spirits that Kardec put together to kind of give us, in that message, it relates to the topic that we're talking about. So to me, it's almost kind of a little review of what we study so far. So if it feels like that, I think that is intentional. From the Professor Kardec, right, to really emphasize the learning. There are a few messages here because we're going to be finishing the chapter, so items 11 to 15. And today I actually do not have slides, but I have hold on just a second. But I have I think I can share just 1 minute. And if I do this and if I do that. Hopefully now you guys can see the chapter, the book. I don't know that I can see. Can you all see that? Marcella, can you see the correct screen? No? Okay, then let me do something. Okay. All right, then we will stop that. All right, so we'll stop that. We usually put the link for the book in the chat to this version here of the book. So if you have it, you can follow along. So we'll start with the topic number 11. So, and all about today is going to be the general topic. It's about the use of riches and also detachment of early possessions, right? So, in item 11, so this spirit Chivalrous from Bordeaux, it's a message of 1861. It starts actually with some warnings for us. And it's really bringing back that part of the gospel that it's really telling us that we cannot serve both God and mammon, right? And the question in this message, it's really reminding us about the true ownership, right? That we talked about a couple of weeks ago or last week. So remember, everything, it's God's, right? And is entrusted to us. So the spirit starts the message actually saying, what happened if when you discarnate, God asks you, what did you do with the wealth that I entrusted to you? You unfaithful steward, right? So are we being good stewards? Are we taking good care of the wealth that God has given us? And another point that I would like to talk as we're to bring up as we start to talk is the question that this chapter is really for all of us, right? Even if you are just joining us now towards the end, because it's the use of wealth, but also because it shows us what we need to do for the ones that have it and for the ones that don't have it, right? So it's for all of us, right? And sometimes in life we learn too that in some lives we have more wealth than others. We might be poor, others rich. But I was just thinking that sometimes in our own life too, sometimes, you know, we can go through very hard times and others are better. And sometimes we can even feel, you know, kind of reaching and pull and pour in quotations, right? Within the same month, right? We receive our salary, we feel really rich, and then we start paying bills and we're like, oh, okay, where did all the money went, right? To pay the bills. So we can actually feel this. So we have been talking about what it's really our ownership, what is really ours, how to use the time that we have the best, what it's really, what can we take once we discarnate, right? So therefore we should accumulate as we are here, right? Because if we're accumulating things that we cannot take with us, then what are we doing, right? So in the beginning there is this warning really that we are only stewards and that we need to use well the riches that God entrusts us. And when it poses this question, um, when poses this question, um, what is the best use of wealth? Then the Spirit says, seek in the words, love one another. So if we really want to know how to use that best, we should actually think about love. So if we use that with love And if we're using for the betterment, not just of ourselves, but others, then we're doing a good use of the riches that we have, right? So it reminds us again of charity, but it says charity filled with love, right? So, but remember, once we give just out of the things that we have in abundance, right? So if I have, I don't know, let's say if I have 1,000 cows and I need to give one away, that's not bad, right? It's not hard for me. But if I have 2 cats and I have to give one away, then maybe it's harder. It might not be a very good example. But in this message, the Spirit keeps telling us that if we are rich, we should give of our superfluity, but do more, right? So invite us to do a little bit more. Give something that we consider necessary to us, but give it wisely, right? So it even reminds us that sometimes it's not just the material things that we give, it's telling us here to think, is it really my money that is the best gift here? Or should I give my work or my counseling or even affability, right? So sometimes the blessings that we have and the riches that we have, they are not just materially, right? So it says, spread all around you the love of God, the love of labor, and the love for one's neighbor, right? So it really says to use, remember, always also another topic in this chapter was that the intelligence, right? So if we have resources, money, a good way to use that is to really to foment or to improve education or education opportunities for others, right? Is a way for us and for others an opportunity to read more, to learn more, to develop our intelligence. And then on item 12, the theme for me, it's more of not wasting time. Remember, and we talk about that, right? That why sometimes we spend most of our time on things that are less valuable, things that we cannot take with us through eternity, right? And then everything is a balance. So in this message, it's from a protector spirit from 1861. And it's really asking us to reflect on how life is so short. And this spirit says the life is so short, right? One incarnation, one birth is so short. And he says, the spirit says that they are really impressed by our incessant preoccupation with our material welfare, right? But at the same time, so we're really worried about our material welfare, but we give so little importance and we devote so little time to our moral improvement. And our moral improvement is what will be counted for us for eternity, right? So, and sometimes we even want to disguise that. We want to say that if you are industrious, right, or have good ideas, we have a way with business and things like that, we want to disguise that as an interest for humankind. We can say, oh, I'm doing to others, when actually we are just exaggerating our needs. We're exaggerating our vanity, and we're giving ourselves over to excess, right? So sometimes we're saying, oh, it's just to give myself or my kids a better life. But is it really, right? So the alert here in the beginning of this message too, it's from this sentence that I would like to read to you. And it asks, how much grief, worry, and torment do you inflict upon yourselves? How many sleepless nights to increase wealth that is often more than sufficient already, right? So it's the balance, because later we're going to see that in these other messages, right? Um, we never said here, or it was never said in this chapter, that being rich is bad. It is difficult, because it can be difficult because it is a temptation, right? A temptation to just use that for ourselves, right? So this is what we have to think about. Are we really losing the connections that we have with others? Are we losing even our health with the sleepless nights and, this really quest to have more and more and more? And when we should be, right, when that is above and beyond, it's really not going to bring us any more benefit, right? um so, and especially it says, while we are doing this, is it really worth it? Once, to do that, to chase this wealth, we will neglect the care for our future, for our eternal future, right? For our um and also, we are neglecting the duties of fraternal solidarity, right? So our body does, and we are doing all these things, right? If it is beauty, if it is, different pleasures of eating and drinking and traveling and clothes and things that we have to adorn ourselves, all of this is for our body. And our body, we don't take it, right? New incarnation will be a new body. But at the same time, we're neglecting our spirit, and the spirit is the one that lives forever. So it says in the last two sentences of this message that the master, so cherished and cared for, has become your tyrant, right? So this emphasis on riches, it commands your spirit, which has become its slave. Is that the purpose of the existence that God has given you? Right? That's a very good question, and that we can think about. It's like, is that the purpose of this existence that God has given us? So, whatever we focus on, we put our energy, then we are captivated by that thing, right? Like it says here, we can become slaves of this idea of having more, of needing more, of having to get more. But remember that the gospel is liberation, right? The idea that we are immortal spirits and we are not taking any of that, that true ownership is only what we are, and the virtues that we develop, right? That is really liberating. So that's what we need to seek to be, not enslaved on this materialistic idea, but really free of all of that. That's the invitation of the gospel of Jesus, right? For us to be free of all those attachments, right? So that is another thing for us to think about. And in section 13, items 13 is another message from Fenelon from 1860. And here he reminds again, we are trustees, right? And it starts to ask us, what is a good use of riches and what is a bad use? So it says that a bad use of riches consists in using those riches solely for our personal satisfaction. That is a bad use. A good use, an example of a good use, on the other hand, it says consist in all the times that it results in something good for someone else, right? So it really brings the value of helping others, right? It talks that beneficence, right? It's a great way, but it's not the only way for us to employ wealth, right? Beneficence, right? Giving alms can relieve miseries, appeases hunger, saves from the cold, and provides shelter. However, an equally pressing and meritorious obligation consists in preventing misery from occurring in the first place, right? So, again, from the other message too, right? In encouraging others, right, to learn, to be productive, um, and to develop themselves, right? It says here, labor develops the mind and exalts the dignity of people, where who are always proud to be able to say that they have earned the bread that they eat, whereas the receiving of alms humiliates and denigrates them, right? So, of course, if somebody's hungry, I mean, we cannot teach them how to cook or how to plant and then wait to harvest. We need to address that. But as much as possible, we can feed somebody hungry, but we can find ways that to help the person to actually earn, their own living, right? Um, and it really talks about how good it is to help others, right? Um, and it's interesting that in this message it's something that I don't know if you thought about, but it says that if Jesus speaks primarily of alms, it's because at the time and in the land in which he was living, one did not know about the work that the arts and industry would create later, and in which wealth could be useful, employed for the overall good of society, right? So, in the beginning, we really think about primary needs, but to really develop everybody and to develop everybody fully, we need to be thinking a little bit beyond, right? Everybody has short-term, needs and long-term needs, right? It says at the end of this message, it says, give alms when necessary, but as much as possible, convert them into wages so that those who receive them will not feel ashamed, right? So it's interesting how it reminds us throughout this chapter that nothing is ours really. It's God and is entrusted to us, and we need to help others. But it needs to be, charity needs to be done in the right way, right? Not to mm, exalt the person who is doing the good and humiliate the person receiving it, right? So it needs to be from one person to the other, and really to loving one's neighbor, right, with the love as the wrapping, and also as the basis for that action, right? All right, and then it is this longer little bit, item 14, where is going to really talk about detachment from early possessions. And in the second paragraph here, it has a sentence that it's a question, but it's a lot of warning too. It says, your love for early possessions, it's one of the biggest obstacles to your moral and spiritual advancement, right? So we should reflect on that. The love for earthly possessions is one of the biggest obstacles to your moral and spiritual advancement. And it asks later, a few sentences later in this message, does wealth provide an unmixed happiness, right? So if we think it's not just giving people money that is going to make them happy, right? I know some people don't even like in my people in my family, they keep saying, oh, because we have that, it does, money buys happiness, and it really doesn't. But I do agree that it's easier to be a little bit happier if you have you know money to pay your bills than if you don't, right? If you have money to eat, that makes you a little bit more content than if you don't even have money to eat. And that's what this message is saying. But it's not, it doesn't guarantee though, right? So that's what it's saying here in this message is like that dissatisfaction with wealth and riches, it says that is very natural and is approved by God. But there is a difference between this satisfaction of being able to have a good life, right? Versus an attachment that absorbs all other sentiments and paralyzes the impulses of the heart. There is where there is a big distance, right? And it is the same distance, it says, that separated sordid miserliness and exaggerated wastefulness, right? So we should not be wasting to riches, or also we should not be, not enjoying it, right? But like it says, it's the difference between being satisfied, right, or happy or content with having riches or wealth from an attachment. Remember that it talked about in the other message that even can enslave ourselves to that, right? So again, it keeps repeating. Everything comes from God and everything goes back to God. Not even our body, right? Remember, like last week, like Lucas told us, right? Not even our body is our body, because once we die, then this, physical body stays behind. So again, we are trustees, not proprietors of many of the things that we consider being ours, right? And it gives this idea, an example. It says that if one of our friends lends us money, even we're not perfect, but we will try really to pay off, right? And we'll be grateful to that friend for that loan, right? So why we are not thankful to God for the loan of the things that he gives us, and why we are not really trying to spread it out, these riches that we received, right? So always remembering that people that have wealth, they are ministers of charity on earth, right? So it goes through many examples of what we should do, because sometimes people have money because they inherited that. Sometimes as parents, we're so worried about, and we trace how we're going to live our lives thinking about our kids, right? No, I want to work really hard every day, doesn't matter, because I want to leave money to my kids so they cannot experience any hardship or things like that. So first in the message, it asks, it's really it's really for the love of your children that you're thinking about that. And assuming that you are, it asks an additional question. What lessons are you really giving your kids? Are you giving them lessons in selfishness? And are you hardening their hearts, right? So if I'm a parent and all I talk about is how to get money, how to be more rich, and I'm not showing my kids how to share what we have with others, right? I'm not modeling this behavior, then I might be teaching my kids to be selfish too, right? So, and they might be selfish towards me. That's what one of the sentence says, that by teaching our kids to be selfish towards others, you teach them to be selfish towards ourselves too. We are also part of the outside world, right? And then now it brings, so these are like, if you are trying to leave money for your kids, and even the last part of this is really asking, is it okay to leave money for your kids? It's fine. It's perfectly fine. And remember, satisfaction versus attachment to the wealth, right? But what about if you earn your wealth and you were really poor, and maybe through your career or, through your business, then you become really rich, or maybe your talent, you are an athlete, let's say, or something, or an actor or an artist, right? So if you are still selfish and hard towards the poor, even though you have been at some point in your life poor yourself, that says in this message that these people are much guiltier than others. For the more one knows from personal experience the hidden grief of poverty, the more one should be inclined to relieve that into others, right? Another thing that alerts us, and those are the challenges, right? Or the traps, or the things that wealth can bring us. It can bring us as a self of pride. I might think, wow, I am so rich, so I'm so special. It has nothing to do with God. It's about me and me alone, right? So we have to be careful with that, right? Because it's really easy to think that we are special, and really go into this pride mode and actually separate ourselves from others and things that, when we should be thinking, this is God gave me, but not just for me and for others, right? And I'm just a steward of these riches. It also talks about not wasting. It's just because you need to be detached doesn't mean that you need to be wasteful, right? Because we can easily go at one extreme and the other. And remember, it's all about the balance, right? So it's also not that. We're not talking about just, wasting all your money or giving it all away and then, you know, going and begging people for that. So that is not what is the correct thing. And in here, it says detachment from early possessions consists in appreciate wealth for its true worth, in knowing how to use it for others and not only for oneself. It's not sacrifices one interests in the future life on its behalf and in losing it without complaining if it pleases God to take it away, right? And reminds here of Job, right? The story of Job in the Bible, right? And Job really used to say what, right? So his sentence is, Lord, you have given and you have taken away. May your will be done. So it's really finding that balance and that peacefulness in abundance and the scarcity. Because I think in our lives or in our family lives, if we look at our parents, grandparents, even our kids, we can see that even within one life, we can have different cycles, right? So, it's something that is really important. So, just to finish up, at the end of this message, and it's from Lacordaire, 1863. It says that, I talk about many things, and then it says, let me summarize it. So I'll read it for you here. So it says, what I'm saying is, right, in summary, know how to be content with little. If you are poor, do not envy the rich, because wealth is not necessary for happiness. If you are rich, do not forget that your possessions have been entrusted to you and that you must justify their use as if you were giving an accounting of expenditures. Do not be an unfaithful trustee by utilizing your possessions to satisfy your pride and sensuality. Do not think that you have the right to dispose for you sole use what is nothing but a loan and not a gift. If you are unable to repay it, you do not have the right to ask for it in the first place. Then, and remember that those who give to the poor are settling a debt that they have contracted with God. So, this is really a lot of, summary from the things that we had talked about before, but it's really about these main things, right? So we have to learn to do the best with what we have, learning that being poor or being having times of scarcity that bring challenges, but having a lot too, having abundance also, there is some, temptations with that too, right? There are challenges with that too in terms of our moral development, right? So if we are in the scarcity, we should, not despair, continue, doing our best. And if we are in abundance, we should be helping others, because maybe tomorrow we are the ones that need some help, right? So I hope y'all enjoyed, this chapter, because like I said, it applies to all of us. And soon we'll be starting a new chapter.
Thank you so much, my sister, for your presentation. Lots of reflections, right? This is
Mhm.
a very um, important chapter for us to learn to think and to put into practice, right?
Mhm. For I think it applies to all of us, right? At
Yeah,
the very moment. So even though this message is from 18 something, right? It's very
so
relevant right
relevant.
now.
Yeah, there is no questions in the chat, but I think we can talk a little bit about, like, I was thinking, like, thank God we have the Spiritism teachings to show us the way to try to overcome these feelings that we have, like, for the material things in
Sure.
our lives, right?
Sure.
And
Because
sometimes,
the message outside, right? It's not telling us, right? From
mhm,
TV, from commercials, from outside, the pressure, it's really to have more, have more, have
yeah,
more,
yeah,
right? And the
buy this,
gospel,
like that, yeah.
buy, have it, right? However, the gospel, Jesus is telling us, be more, right? Be more patient, be more charitable, be more patient, so it's like be, but outside it's just like have, buy,
Yeah,
right? And so I totally agree with you that, thank God for Spiritism to change our way of
ways to
seeing
think.
things, and that
Mhm.
way we can still enjoy, the good things in
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
They are not, God doesn't want us not to have those, but
yeah,
we understand our responsibility with that,
yeah.
right? It's not ours, and we should be using this to help others
Mhm,
around us, right?
mhm. Yeah, not only for ourselves, only for
No,
our loved ones, right? But, like, yeah,
right.
yeah, there are so many ways that we can help, especially if you have, like, wealth, right?
Mm-hmm,
If you have a little bit more than others.
mm-hmm.
Uh, and God is not saying that, oh, no, you cannot have anything,
Right,
right?
right,
No, you can have it. You can work. You can, like, achieve everything you want to achieve.
right,
But don't be selfish, right?
right,
Don't be selfish.
right. Don't just enjoy all of that for
Yeah,
yourself, right? What can you also share with others? That way you can
yeah,
be spreading that a little bit more. Mm-hmm.
yeah. This is also very, very, I, it got me to think a little bit. Thank you so much.
You're
Okay.
welcome. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so now we will move, right, to the preparation for the tonight's spiritual care. Pass is the transfusion of with is the transfusion of spiritual energy with the goal of assisting with our physical, emotional, and mental balance. Baths help us to restore a state of harmony and peace by replacing negative energy with health and positive energy. In order to receive the best benefits from baths, please follow the audio instructions or remain in prayer. You may close your eyes to help with mentalization. And during the bath, the water you set aside, we will also observe the spiritual energy that you and your family can benefit from. So now we will make a prayer in preparation for the treatment, the spiritual care, and this will be our closing prayer as well. Okay, so I invite everyone to close your eyes if you wish and feel comfortable. Let's thank God for being here tonight, for the opportunity to listen these teachings, these lessons, and to try to put into practice in our lives. Thank God for everything you have done. And please help us to be less material person, and then in that we can think and like put more value in the spiritual things, not the material ones, because when we discriminate, we don't take anything with us. So please, God, help us to be a better person, to help one another, to help our neighbors, to help our family, and everything we have the chance to help. And doesn't need to be only material things. It can be our time, a hug, a smile. Oh God, you know that we need your protection, and we need your orientation so that we can follow your steps, follow your teachings, and be more charitable. We ask you to protect our lives, our family, friends, and all the humanity. We ask you for all the names that are in the vibration list, and may all the people who have the names there, they can benefit from the spiritual care. They can have all their necessities fulfilled. And may you bless our night, bless our week, and stay with us today and always. So be it.
Let's get ready for the bath and water fluidification. Please get a container with clean water to be fluidified. Brothers and sisters, it does not matter where you are, what type of hardships you are going through. Jesus is always ready to come and help us. Place yourself in a comfortable position which can make it easy for you to reach concentration and receptiveness. Breathe slowly and easily. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Fill up your lungs with air and let it out very slowly. Let tranquility and peace energies penetrate your lungs and move throughout your body. Your soul in harmony with your body feels easy and in peace. Let's imagine Jesus' passage. A clear day, the sun's golden rays illuminate the happy passage in Capernaum. A lot of white houses, multicolored vines, and hopping birds fill the landscape with optimism. The news about cures attracted the crowd in need. Suddenly, Jesus appears slim and handsome. His tunic was hanging down to his feet. At sunset, all those with sick people hit by several illnesses would bring them, and as he placed his hands over each one, he would heal them. This is what Luke the evangelist says. Let's imagine Jesus approaching you. He holds his friendly hands over our head. Notice that from his generous hands, a waterfall with clear and pure water originated from his love come to bathe you. It flows on your head, goes down your shoulders, bathe all your being, and brings you peace, serenity, and balance. They remove all impurities and pacify you. Feel the water bathing you, cleaning. Breathe. Now, imagine Jesus as a sun before you. His light, his warmth surrounds you. Feel the healing energy that comes from Jesus towards you. He hears your prayers. Trust him. His love is endless and it follows you and protects you. It provides you with everything you need. Have faith. Absorb the healing energy from Jesus. His light surrounds you. Feel the energy going through all your body. Feel stronger and in peace. Lord Jesus, our divine friend, reach out your generous hands, Lord, and change this water into medicine for our physical and spiritual illnesses. Protect us, Jesus, with your peace. Spread those vibrations of love throughout my home, Lord. May peace, health, and tranquility reign here. We are very grateful to you, Jesus. Stay with us today and forever. Thank God. Please remember to use the fluidified water.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We will be back next Tuesday here on Spiritism Canada and Continental Concafres Americas at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and next Saturday on Kardec Radio at 8 p.m. And please don't forget to follow Spiritism Canada on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and the Spirit Group Path of Light on Facebook as well. You have a great night and see you next Tuesday.
Sorry, mate, but life to me is way much more. No matter what it seems to be, it's always time to make a change. Sometimes all we need is only one more chance. So try, build that bridge over troubled waters, fly. If that's all that you have left to do, I want more. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more. No more sorrows. No more bad days. No more cries. No more dark cold place. No more fear. No more fight. Someone told me long ago that life is just a long road. Sorry, babe, but life to me is way much more. No matter what is to make a change. Sometimes all we need is only one more chance. So try, build a bridge over troubled water, fry. If that's all that you have left to do, I want more. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling in the eyes. Tears no more, no more sorrow, no more bad days. No more cries, no more dark cold place. No more fear, no more fight. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling in the eyes. Tears no more, no more sorrow, no more bad days. No more cries, no more dark cold place. No more fear, no more fight. Let the sun walk on away, shine, shine. Let the sun